Hey, welcome to the Quackalope vlog. It has
been a long week.
Yeah, it's a good week, a very good week. It has been busy, productive. We have hosted some game nights. We've had friends here. We filmed like 7 episodes of
I worked
Kingdom
at
Death.
the hospital.
Yeah.
However, it came to be Friday. We're like, we have no vlog.
And last week I was on the road, of course, sprinting down to Shoshi, and so everything has been a cacophony. If you want to see what type of week it's been, just take a look over here in the corner. That little pup is sort of representing that. So, what we thought we would do is just another one of these, direct to camera, you know, float you around a little bit, and show you one of the reasons why it's been such a long week.
We have our basement up and running.
Yeah, nearly finished.
We're pretty settled. We have a lot of rooms in the house that have gotten to their completed status, and we're going to show them off. There's some rooms that are disasters and don't walk in there. Never. But this is not one of them anymore. This one is a joy to be in,
so,
and we can play.
Let's show people our game room, I suppose. First off, this is going to be the downstairs basement, and we have ended up adding a total of what?
5 by 5 calyxes.
1, 2, 3. No, only 4 down here.
Oh, because there's one up in your.
There's one up in the studio space. So there are 4 5 by 5 calyxes, and I'm just going to do a slow little spin here before we start digging into details and showing you specifics. We have 2 full-size gaming tables, the hexagon and the big bridge here, and that is a row of games.
Literally.
So,
a row.
Shira,
Yes.
if you want to talk about what we have going on and what our space is like, and then I'll have you take the camera and I'll show some of the things.
This is our selling shelf. These are the games that have been featured on our shelf for sale, and mainly in order of episodes, kind of, sort of, maybe. These games are on their way out of here. I gotta get them packaged up and shipped. And I did a lot, actually. There's a lot more room in here than there was this morning. There's room I can actually put my hands, and I see Jesse has shifted over. Destiny's does not ever belong over here. Don't know why you would have put him there.
I took some things off the ground that needed to be cleaned up.
Okay. Some games don't belong over here at the moment. Then this is our game shelf of stuff that is opened that we are undecided about. We don't know whether it is going to be leaving or whether it will be migrating over that way.
And also stuff that just doesn't have room on shelves at the moment.
Or whether it's going to be migrating that way to our permanent collection. But yeah, these are all the open stuff that is just in the in-between state that we just need to get more plays in of everything on this shelf. Or most of the basement, actually. This shelf is stuff that is all in shrink. Can you imagine someone having an entire shelf of stuff that are in shrink?
Listen, we get a lot of games in. I buy a lot of games, and over the years, some of these titles I have had for 3.
5 calyx of in shrink games.
Okay, that's enough with you. I'm gonna hand the camera to you and trade this off. Listen, some of you actually need to be able to see the camera, right? That's how that works. Some of these titles over here I have had in my collection, like Suburbia, the collector's edition. I backed that on Kickstarter. I'm just the weird type of person that has no desire to open up a game if I'm not ready to punch, unbox, organize, and play. Because, 1, we do channel content. Maybe I want to unbox Suburbia when the time comes. But also, 2, it keeps everything together. Like, it's much nicer to have them all, like... Because when you have them open, they proliferate all over the place. It's very, very terrifying. So, back here behind me is going to be the only shelf we have right now for our permanent collection. We are going to be moving that upstairs eventually. I think we're planning to get 2 shelves in the living room, which will put a total of 7 calyxes in our house.
That will be it. You will not be allowed to get any more, and any games that don't fit on a shelf will be straight into your car.
And then we'll figure out how else we're going to get more calyxes in the area. This space right here is actually going to be the space where I spend a lot of my time editing, right? I basically set up a computer here. Shira has her old office. We might show that off down the road when it's complete. But for me, this is where most Quackalope content gets produced. And let me show you the tables that we have. So both of these, if you've seen them in the past, are going to be tables from Game Theory Tables. This is, the little hexagon is the Cassidy, and this big one is the Odyssey, or something like that. They have big old ridges. They are extremely heavy, and the coolest part, the part that I actually want to show you, the audience, is that here in the center
is our Quackalope logo.
We have our Quackalope logo. So, from time to time, we will pop these tops off, and we will actually go through the process of playing underneath. Usually, on big, heavy game nights is when we're doing that, but for the most part, these toppers stay on just to, like, prevent some of the wear and tear that you get on tables in general when you patch them. Over here is going to be the little Cassidy gaming table, and I gotta be honest, I'll find the link to put down below if you're interested in a gaming table. The big one is really nice. It is heavy and bulky, and we're gonna do a full review of it one day soon. This is probably, right now, one of my favorite tables we have in the house. You can seat comfortably 6 people around it. Now, it doesn't work for miniatures, and I'm gonna be honest, it's not the best for leaving a game set up. But underneath it here,
another Quackalope logo!
Is another Quackalope logo, and also a full range play area. And this is where, if we're just playing a 2-player game, we're coming and we're gravitating towards this table. So during a game night like we had earlier this week, we actually set up multiple spaces and had multiple areas where games were set up. I think we had 3 set up, plus 1 upstairs at one point. So yeah, that's the tables in this space. Shira, do you want to show off some...
I want to show some of the little hidey things.
I'll steal this. What are some of the little hidey things we have?
So, some of the little Easter eggs. We've been finding these little duck hooks on Etsy, and we have some actually upstairs, right, for our keys when you walk into the house. But this one Jesse found, and he's hanging his cloak here. And I love how he just hung it up right over here. There's a couple more that we're going to have in random places, but this is one of the Easter eggs.
This pile of boxes, Shira,
is
all Kingdom Death.
Yeah, I see that.
And that pile of boxes that we're not going to show everyone
is prototypes.
Oh my gosh.
Those have to get a place. Show off our fireplace. So we have 2 fireplaces. The one on the main floor actually is a working fireplace that we can put wood in. We haven't yet, but we did get the chimney sweep before the season started. However, the one in the basement, there's a gas line that leads into it. They said it was not advisable based on how the carpet is and the floor tile is on the inside to do a real fire down here. So Jesse found this really adorable looking miniature pretend fireplace. It's a heater, and it actually does give off heat, and it is nice and warm, and it gives the aesthetic of it. I like it. Oh, it just makes them... Did you pause?
No.
Oh, we're still going,
I'm still going.
Our friend over here. This is one of the little Easter eggs I have to point out. Galactus. He has a home. Hung up some KDM things. And then this. Oh, have you ever shown them this? Is it plugged in right now?
Oh yeah, it turns on.
There we go. It turns on. And you can see all the stuff that we used to have in our backdrop. Jesse actually wants us to be a backdrop. I'm going to talk about my thing. So,
no.
No?
No. That's private.
Fine.
Don't dig into it. That was a gift you made me at one point.
I did. I want to talk about it. We have dice. We've got our little gaming goat. You actually found this one also. It's like an Etsy find. A little brass duck. Ash has her little house down here.
Yeah, which she doesn't actually use. She likes this spot, but there's a dog bed there for her. Sorry about that. A little break there. The camera only records in 4K for about 10 minutes straight, so we're going to jump to me talking about this space. So for me, I think there's a few things here that I really like. First off is going to be our little thinking man.
Our thinking man.
I think he's absolutely lovely.
Look at him.
Okay.
He just sits there thinking.
I grabbed him off of Etsy when we first moved into the space. We have the drop box of the Too Many Bones Undertow. We have the Quackalope IPA empty can, which is a company that's gone out of business, and it was the only company to have done anything related to a Quackalope on the internet before Quackalope started existing. So I got one of those as like an homage to. I had a friend make me this back when the pandemic first started, so this is sort of like 2020.
That had an awful glare on it.
This does? It's super bright.
It's super bright.
This is like 2020's year of suffering. And what other things do I have here? If you all know the Easter egg from Alex and me debating each other and starting our fight, I made that for him back when I think we were just at 10,000 subscribers and we were starting to squabble with each other a little bit. And this big duck back here, if you can see him, that is the first ever video published here on Quackalope. You can actually find it over on my Patreon as a test run for doing this channel. I ordered this guy off of Amazon and did an Amazon review of Dakota the Duck with a plushy beanie bottom. That's what he is. It was just a test run to see how I was in front of the camera and, you know, how stuff was coming across. The other thing, Shira pointed this out, but I actually want to point out the table that this is sitting on. So this is a table, I'm doing the woodworking project with my grandfather, and this table back here in the corner is made from, I believe, persimmon wood, or something along that line, with like African black wood as well. This is a full board. It's got a drawer in it. I have Soviet era handmade chess pieces that go along with it. Check out our horse here with the little wings. And this is just something that's super important to me because it's my grandpa's made like an heirloom piece of furniture for each one of his grandchildren, and so this is the piece that he made for me probably 5-6 years back, and it's come with me everywhere. If there was one thing burning in the house, I would tell the dog to run, and I'd grab the table.
You would. I'm not allowed to actually put anything on there. No. He's the only person who's allowed to touch it. I desperately don't want it to get damaged. I know life happens and things happen to it, but like arbitrarily putting cups on or anything like that, I'm very protective. It means a lot to me. We have our giant handmade Kingdom Death box up top here, which doesn't have a good home yet, but yeah. And then we have artwork, and every time we get featured in a game, we're getting prints sent to us, and we're going to start just covering the walls and doing the whole hallway up with a ton of really cool artwork. So that's sort of our play space. That's sort of the area that we're currently working with. Any final thoughts, Shira? Let me set this camera down here. No.
Flip the screen around. We're going to need to drop down. So that's what we have when we have people over, when we host game nights. This is where we spend most of our time.
He hibernates down here a lot. I actually 3 out of the 4 light bulbs have burnt out before I noticed, and he got upset when I put the bright lights.
I didn't get upset. I certainly didn't get upset.
You don't like the light.
I leave the lights off for the most part. I'll have one of our lights. I'll have that one in the back on, and then everything else will be even because I'm so used to working at night. I'm so used to editing in a dark space. You're able to get better colors. Yeah.
I like the brightness. I like the light.
Yeah. As far as things that we're adding to the space, we need to add up a few more places for people to hang jackets and coats when they come and visit.
Yep.
We need to add a rack to the top so we have places to store people's shoes. I want a display cabinet on the back wall here that we didn't really show off where all the Kingdom Death boxes are right now.
I have a storage solution for playmats that I have to do a video on and show you guys, but I found something and I hope it's going to work, and I have to put it together.
My hope is to get a display cabinet for like painted minis, and I think it's really cool that we get sent like resin prototype minis.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to show those off. Basically, I want this to be, for as long as we're here.
To board gaming.
Well, to Quackalope.
Yeah.
So when people walk down, like we have a Patreon member visiting us in about 2 weeks. And when he comes, I want him to walk down and recognize things and be excited about things and just be able to celebrate with us the community and sort of this weird world that we've built together. So, that's the vlog for this week. Not too complicated. Just a simple kind of talking and showing you around our space.
We gotta wrap it up.
Next week we're going to Kentucky, so get excited for more woodworking. We'll see you then. Bye. So, I know we just took the time to show off our, basement and studio to you all, but this is about an hour before we actually filmed that video. We have, a dog shaking on the floor, about 3 games, and an editing station spread out here on the table.
We have a whole packing station because we're working on our shelf or cell and getting these games out because Jesse needs more room. There's no room on any of these shelves anymore.
So, needless to say, everything has been a bit chaotic as we've squeezed shelves, tried to get games flying out the door, and, of course, just tried to get this space up and running and organized. And the ebb and flow of people coming, playing games over the week, packing, shipping, covering, all of that makes our basement kind of an ever-revolving space. I love having it, but basically what we did for the vlog was we cleaned it as if you were a guest that was coming down to hang out with us, and then, it's going to go back to this chaos fairly soon. So there's the real look behind the curtain. Thanks for watching.